of the greatest women's collegiate basketball teams in history, the Huskies of UCONN. One of the highlights of her and her father's lives was a visit they made to the campus in March 2019. Here today to speak on his friendship with both of them is the 11-time NCAA championship coach of the Huskies, Geno Auriemma.
There's some amazing women in this room, aren't there? And you just heard from three of them. I'm Geno Auriemma, and I'm the coach of the UCONN women's basketball program. And a lot of people are going to talk about basketball today. And I don't know that that's why I'm here. I'm not here for the basketball part. I tried to write a long, flowing speech about basketball, and I can't do it. There's too many thoughts in my head ever since Vanessa asked me to speak. Too many things that made me realize more that I'm here as a father, not as a basketball coach. And us Italians, as Dees just showed you, we're very, very emotional people. Right, Mike? He's half Italian. So the thoughts that I started to have after I was asked to speak were obviously about all the people that were on board. And if you're a father, a grandfather, you feel a different kind of emotion when there are children involved. Because this is always about the children. We've lived our lives. We have a little bit left. They're just starting their lives. And then my next thought came to the original team that Kobe was responsible for. Natalia, Bianca, Capri, Vanessa. Because we're always teammates, you know? We're always on a team. Sometimes it's a big team, sometimes it's a small team. And that's the most important team. And Kobe and I shared some history. We started in Italy, went to Philadelphia, and then went to the limelight and the lights and glamour of LA. I was born in Philadelphia, went to Philly, and went to the cows up in Stores. That was a joke because there's no lights and there's no glitz and glamour in Stores, Connecticut. Mm-hmm. And how ironic that he would talk to me about coaching. The uncoachable one wants to talk about coaching. Probably the most uncoachable player in the NBA during his career wants to know about coaching. And I wanted to know why. He said, I'm coaching my daughter's team. I said, oh my God, that poor kid. So when I watched highlights of her playing, and on about the third or fourth time she touched the ball, Gianna passed it when she was open. I thought, she's not listening to her father. So he would call and say, what kind of defensive drills should I do? We have practice tonight, we're gonna work on defense. What do you think is the most important thing in teaching man-to-man? Further proof, he never listened to one word any of his coaches told him. So I tried to explain to them, I said, Kobe, they're 13 years old. I think you ought to just say, hey, you know, see the kid with the ball, try not to let her go by you, and see if you're guarding the other guys, hey, see the kid with the ball over there, don't let him throw the ball to your guy. Keep it kind of simple, you know? He said, no, I want to know, like, what are the rotations when they drive? I said, come on. So these are the conversations that we have both as basketball people and as dads who have ever coached their kids. If you've ever been in that situation, like a lot of people here in this room probably have been. And I remember when Gigi came, as you saw in that video, she came to our the very first game that she came to, and she came into the locker room. And here she is. And the look on her face, the smile, the way her eyes just took everything in, how excited she was to be around, in her mind, royalty. It's ironic. Her father's royalty. And she's excited to be around royalty that looks just like what she wants to be. And the most impressive thing about that point in time was how Kobe stepped as far back as he could. So anyone taking pictures, anyone there would not know that this was Kobe Bryant's daughter. This was her moment. This is what her time to shine. This was her time to experience all the things that he's experienced his whole life. He was being dad. He wasn't being Kobe Bryant. And he was allowing Gigi to be Gigi, not Kobe Bryant's daughter. In today's day and age, that's a hell of a thing for parents to be able to do. I'm gonna leave you with just two things. We got a letter. Oh, I gotta tell you about, you didn't see it, but she did meet the Oregon Ducks women's basketball team. And they all gathered around and said, you wanna take a picture? And everybody ran over and Gigi goes, nah, I'm good. Ah. She knew where her heart was.
That's funny.
And you know that little sarcasm, I'm good. And when they came to UCONN and they sat behind the bench, and there's dad bringing his daughter to a game, and they have their shirts on, and she's got this coat on, and she has her hat on, and she's just a little kid at a game. And again, I felt more like a dad than I felt as a basketball coach, because I've done that with my kids. And lastly, number 24, number 8, and number 2. Those are basketball numbers. Those are numbers in the past. Those are numbers that we're not going to get back. What we do have is today how many numbers of kids like Diana have been inspired to do more, to work harder, to strive for more. And the numbers we also don't have is how many numbers of kids in the future, how many women are going to be inspired by Gigi's life, how many fathers are inspired by Kobe to be fathers, to really be fathers, the way a father's supposed to be. In this room, there is an incredible amount of talent. In this room is maybe the greatest collection of talent that I've ever been around. But in this room, there's a family, and there's still a team back home, and they still have a great coach. And I'm going to be rooting for that team from here on in. Thank you very much.